In football, when people talk about Lionel Messi, they usually talk about the goals, but coaches often admire something else: the ability to consistently make the right decisions, create opportunities, and elevate the entire team around him. The same principle applies to building a successful advisory practice. Sustainable success doesn't come from one brilliant move, it comes from discipline, consistency, strong relationships, and making the right decisions year after year. Our next speaker is a highly respected financial advisor and entrepreneur who has built a successful wealth management practice through through consistent client centricity and disciplined execution. As the founder of Vijai Mantri Financial Services, Mr. Vijay Mantri has guided investors across market cycles while creating a sustainable and scalable advisory business. His practical insights and real-world experience continue to inspire advisors
Thank you.
striving for excellence. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Vijay Mantri as he shares his perspectives on
Thank you.
MFD Alpha. All yours, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Sundarji, Murliji, and to all of you for being here. Uh, I was working for MFD community for last so many years, spent lots of time across the country. The first MFI training in 2003 or 2004, I did a one full day training session across country, 60 location, trained more than 4,000 MFD in 2003, 2004. Since then, I got this fascination with this community because I believe that MFD is the most cost efficient way of financial intermediation in this country. And I'll just share some data with you guys. The total asset under regular plan in the mutual fund industry is around 40 lakh crore. The total commission earned by MFD is around 17,000 crore. So on the total regular plan asset, the MFD's earnings are 41 paisa only. So get this out of people's mind that MFDs are making too much money. If anybody feel MFDs are making too much money, they can clear the exam, can become MFD, like I have become. Okay. Now, why I chose MFD business? You know what is going to be the biggest disease in the world going forward in next 5, 10, 20 years? What is going to be the biggest disease? Pardon? Too many choices. The biggest disease is going to be loneliness. If you are MFD, you will never remain alone. Even if the client is not calling you, there will be new KYC requirement. There will be new nomination requirement. So they'll keep you busy. So what SEBI MF is doing is actually in your interest. In fact, you are not realizing how good they are with you. So this is the one part. But the second part is this is the kind of business in which you have seen Mr. Srinivasan making presentation, right? Yeah? Old person? Have you ever seen any mutual fund sales CEO or CEO being old here? They retire. MFD like doctor never retire. Even next generation want to push them away, they will stay there. I'll come at least for 2-3 hours every day. Kind of thing. So this is the kind of business where you will not retire, you will only retire when you want to retire. In asset management business, if you are a CEO, CIO at the age of 60, you are said goodbye. That's why you never see somebody with a complete white hair or bald hair making presentation here. From AMC. Okay. So that's the second part. Third part, I'm going to share with you something very, very profound happening on the investment side. Then I'm going to talk to you about what is happening in the MFD business, how I built my own MFD business. Actually, I was partner with somebody. In January 2026, we broke away cordially, and I moved with 500 crore of my asset. So I moved with 500 crore of my asset, and in last 5-6 months, we have added 150 crore of new assets. So we are now sitting on 670 crore of assets. And every day, believe me, every day I get 2 new client references. Every day I get 2 new clients. And I tell you how I got it. And it is not very difficult. What we can learn, I'll share with you guys. Okay? So it is coming here, but it's not coming on the screen, biggest screen. It is coming here. Yeah. So here is the first very interesting slide. There were 6,584 listed companies on NSE in 1998. Now, how many companies delivered more than 25% CAGR over a 5-year period? How many companies out of these 6,500 companies delivered more than 25% CAGR over a 5-year period? Any guess? 45? 50? 300? How many? You will get a lot of insight from this slide what is happening on the fund management side. So 47% of the stock, at least once in their lifetime, delivered more than 25% CAGR for a 5-year period. Now there is stock which delivered more than 25% CAGR more than once. And how many of those opportunities? There were 12,444 opportunities in India where a stock delivered more than 25% CAGR, but what Nifty delivered is only 12%. Okay, what is the story behind this? Have your portfolio delivered 25% CAGR when so many opportunities were available? No? Why no? And what is happening to the fund management industry? And this slide has come from somebody from social media. Now, look at this data. Once the company reached a 10,000 crore market cap in India, only 2 companies delivered 25% plus CAGR over a 5-year period. One was Maruti, second was Reliance Industries. The moment a company touched 50,000 crore market cap in India, not a single Indian company delivered 25% CAGR for a 25-year period. Now this is very, very different from Korea, from Taiwan, from USA, from China, and perhaps anywhere else in the world. So when you look at international investing and when you compare India, you get different ballgame altogether. And from this, what we are learning is very interesting. So here is the Nifty's 1-year return I picked up on March 6, 2026. Nifty index fund delivered 9.25%. Large cap category delivered 9.75%. But out of Nifty 50, 28 stock deliver more than 10% return. But if 28 stock deliver more than 10% return, why the hell my fund manager didn't deliver me the return? What is the reason? It's very interesting to ask this question. And here is I sum up what is happening. For last 30 years in India, and actually I was sitting with one fund manager, the fund manager with whom you gave a lot of money, and I was sitting with him for a dinner. And after a few drinks, the alcohol kicked in, and the truth started coming out. And he told me, Vijay, for the entire mutual fund industry, HDFC Bank and HDFC Limited created career for all of us. If you're long on HDFC and HDFC Bank for 25 years, the stock was delivering 25% CAGR, you easily created alpha. The moment HDFC and HDFC Bank stopped performing or started underperforming, you have all the struggle in the world in creating performance. So what was happening and what is happening right now, it is not that India don't have opportunities. As I showed you, there are enough opportunities available in India, but why fund managers are not picking is this slide will tell you. Look at the number 2 stock in this performance. What is that stock? Shriram Finance. And where is HDFC Bank? Suppose I am a fund manager and I bought Shriram Finance and Shriram Finance didn't do well. What will my boss ask me? What is wrong with you, Mr. Mantri? But suppose I bought HDFC Bank and HDFC Bank didn't deliver return. My boss will tell me what is wrong with HDFC Bank. See, this is what is happening in the industry. Now we have asset management company, few of them are listed, there's a board of directors, there's a CEO, there's a CIO, there's a fund manager. And every fund house is looking at other fund house, what they're owning in the stock. Because everybody wants to be the peer group. Nobody wants to have a guts to underperform for three years. If you don't have a guts to underperform for 3 years, you will never able to outperform. So fund manager has become careerist because the salaries are too high, ESOPs are too high. If you lose market share for 1 year as a fund house, you lose 20,000, 30,000 crore of potential AUM. And that is a reason that in the fund industry, there's a herd mentality going on. That is what is happening in AI in USA. Exactly, people have become careerist. They want to take money out and invest only in the one sector. So this is the biggest challenges Indian mutual fund industry is facing. And that is a reason that one need to go beyond Nifty 50 because Nifty 50 have a legacy stock. Nifty 50 has remained the worst performing indices in India for last 20 years and it will continue to remain one of the worst performing indices because it has 35% weightage to bank, 12% to FMCG, 8% to IT industry, and all these industry will have a legacy challenges. So as an investor, as an MFD, you need to learn from this. And this is a very interesting slide. Whenever my client asks me for direct stock, one of the biggest pool of client I get is people who are investing in direct stocks. I use this slide to explain to them that this is the 2010 total profit of listed companies, how the listed companies' profit pool got distributed. This was in 2015, this was in 2020, and this was in 2025. Now look at this data. Look at year 2020. Look at IT industry. How much IT industry share was in total profit pool in 2020? Almost every fourth rupee was earned by IT industry. What has happened now? Look at FMCG companies from 10%, 10.2% to 3.8%. As an investor, are you capable to navigate through this change in profitability? You will invest in IT at these level. You will invest in FMCG at these level. So this is the one trick I use, not trick, actually strategy, to tell people that your direct stock portfolio will not perform. So what I do, very simple exercise, take clients' direct stock portfolio, recommend them 5 mutual fund scheme, and every month my team send them data. This is your direct stock portfolio, this is how your direct stock portfolio is done, and this is what we recommend is done. And over 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, client start converting. So this is the one exercise I do. Second, if you look at this, I'll skip this slide, but to make a point that this is what fund manager industry own. If you look at data for Asian Paint, Britannia, Dabur, HUL, Pidilite, TCS, HDFC Bank, look at the P multiple, look at the earning growth. Now, what is the reason to give 42 P multiple for something growing at 9%? But this is a darling of, these are going high ROE, high ROC, these kind of stocks, so go and play those stocks. Now, this again a very interesting slide presented by Capital Mind just few days back. Full credit to their team, Deepak and his team. They looked at, in 2010, they looked at the stocks. They did a 2 simple criteria. The stock screening criteria, a stock should have a 10-year price history and minimum 500 crore of market cap. And there were 613 stock which qualified for this data point. Out of 613 stock, 159 stock, means 26% of the stock didn't deliver any return, and I'm talking about top stocks in India. 29%, 26% didn't deliver any return. Stock delivered below normal return was 97, so basically 42% of the stock delivered very poor return. 35% deliver average return. 79 stock deliver 10 time to 19 time growth, and 63 62 stocks, basically 10% of the stock, world multi-bagger that delivered 30% plus outperformances. Now, what you find very interesting in this slide, this 62 stock in India came from every background. There were healthcare stock, there were IT stock, there was a banking stock, there was a consumer stock, there was manufacturing stock, there was engineering stock. There's stocks from every walk of life, unlike the market like USA, Taiwan, and Korea. And here is the slide for MFD. I trained more than 4,000 MFD in 2003-4. How many MFD have more than 100,000 crore of assets? How many? Mr. Srinivasan is one of them. So percentage-wise, how much? Between 500 to 1,000 crore, 263. So I put both these numbers together. How much? 0.22. Between 100 crore to 500 crore, how much? And between, now, this is the real data. Now my Marwadi brains tells me how to use for my own benefit. So I am here. So what do I tell my client? That I am 0.22, top 0.22 guy in the industry. You need to figure out where you are and put that as your marketing tool. Suppose you have a 50 crore of AUM, say you are in top 4% of the industry. But it's very sad stuff affair. Out of 179,000 MFDs, 92% of the MFDs have AUM of less than 25 crore. 52% of the MFD has AUM of less than 1 crore. 72% of the MFDs have an AUM of less than 10 crore. This is whose responsibility? AMC will not bother about it. SEBI will not bother about it. I think all of us need to figure out, beyond chasing our client and growing AUM, we also need to think what we do for our community, because in my opinion, financial intermediation, financial literacy can only be done effectively by MFD, because if I make money from the client throughout his life, I will advise him throughout his life, and even after his death, take care of his family. So it is very important that collectively all of us, even you spend every day 10 minutes thinking about what I can give back to my community, just think about it, how do we grow our business. Now, fund industry, insurance, PMS, AIF, mutual fund, RIA, everything. What is the most difficult thing? Fund management job, actuary's job, compliance job, operations job. What is the most difficult thing in our industry? It is getting money from the client. Every solution is talked about after we got the client. Where to put the money? What software to use? How do I show data? But what is the most difficult thing? How to get client? I have building in Mumbai where there are 150 flat. We have a gym, we have a swimming pool, we have a tennis court, we have the squash court. Everything is available. How many people go regularly? 10% is too big a number, sir. The gym will be crowded. My wife is very regular going to gym. Every 3 months she goes and pays subscription and come back. And many of you like that only. Very regular. So the point I am saying that it is just not the question of having the right infrastructure, but there has to be somebody going and telling 6 o'clock in the morning, sir, I am coming. Who will bring investment as the number one priority for the client? Why the most important job in the industry is being not rewarded? Why the most important job in the industry is being looked down? And when I was talking about, someone told me, if you believe so good about MFD, why don't you yourself become MFD? And I accepted the challenge. I'll become MFD and I'll show how successful we would be. So, what we can learn from manufacturer? So now, if you listen to any AMC guy or PMS guy or AIF guy, what they're talking about? They're talking about multi-asset fund, balance advantage fund, asset allocation. They're talking about international investing. They're explaining about gift city. They're talking about passive. They're talking about AIF. They're talking about private credit. They're talking about fund of funds. Right? This is what they're talking about. Now suppose Bahubali released and someone told me that Rajnikant will be the main hero in Bahubali. When I go and see Bahubali, there's no Rajnikant. So what is the essential role of a fund industry? The number one role is to create alpha. Who talks about alpha today? Only when alpha is being created. Else the entire system is built around not talking about alpha. So what we learn from here? So if I am an MFD, I should never talk about return. I will talk about anything beyond return. And how to do it? A client is like a kid. He wants a toy. You can't take the toy away from the client, so distract the child from toy to talk about something else. And how to do, I'll give some ideas to you guys. Learn from manufacturer, there's a one point. Return should not be the main topic, and I'll tell you some interesting idea where I have worked. Focus on other thing. Family gold. Now, I use it very, very effectively to convert client. Every Indian family have gold. You know, of total gold produced in India, we import 850 ton gold every year. How much is consumed in Tamil Nadu? 40% of jewelry is only Tamil Nadu. How much? 40%. Total gold owned by all central bank is 25,460 crore. Total gold owned by Indian women is 60 ton more than that. And women from Taiwan, from Tamil Nadu, own more gold than 5-6 central banks. Okay. Now, how do I use gold as a tool to talk to my client? I said, sir, you have a gold, and most of the Indian families, gold is not accounted. Right? Up to 500 rupees gold per woman in the family can be legalized. We show them the method to do it. Isn't it a fact? Once you legalize the gold, you can also insure the gold. The biggest risk from the gold is taken away when gold is insured. So this is one tool I use. The second tool I use is 12 lakh income. Many clients in the family have people who are not earning 12 lakh rupees. They are grown up, killed more than 18 years. The senior citizen in the family, we help them through very structured way to create income up to 12 lakh rupees. So tax liability to the client goes down. This is the job of a chartered accountant, but I am a chartered accountant. I know most of the people go to CA on 31st July or 30th October, not before that. So they are in extreme hurry to file the return, but very less time to do tax planning for the client. Transition, will, gift and trust. We talk about client, and I'm telling you one of the biggest opportunity in this country on the wealth management is going to come through trust and will. And why I'm telling you, I spoke the similar language about SIP 25 years back. I said SIP will become the biggest tool in the hand of MFDs to grow their business. And I tell you why will, trust will become the most important thing. If any of your clients' kids are abroad and they are NRI, how easy to, if something happens to your client, how easy for NRI kid to get the money? To get the asset? Very difficult. Think about that. Second, huge transition happening in Indian family. First time in our recorded history, our girl child is going to inherit lot of wealth. How will you give wealth to the girl child? When she's getting married. Create a trust and give the money to girl child. So they have a right, but they can't decide the way the property need to be enjoyed. So used will, trust, all these ideas to talk to client that we are here to help you to guardrail your hard-earned money. Every family needs to have an investment policy. And when I speak to client, they love it. Because the biggest risk I've seen in Indian families, what you know, what is the biggest risk in India about investment? The biggest risk in India about investment is that one person in the family decides everything. Women are not involved, kids are not involved. And what we have seen, whenever you involve a woman in decision making, the decision become much better. Moment I have a woman investor, or moment I have somebody from the family, lady taking interest in the investment, what happens? The moment you tell a lady, this money is for retirement, this money is for kids' education, the lady will not allow husband to touch the money, else husband will get new idea every day on the morning walk. Second, women are less influenced by what happens on social media. What is the real issue women handle in India? People say women are very volatile, they are very moody, temperamental. People say these kind of things, right? Now, 2 o'clock in the night, what a male is thinking, whether this Iran-Israel deal or US deal will be concluded in 60 days or not. What a lady will think, what will go in tiffin in the morning? What vegetable should I make in the morning? Whether the homemaker, whether the housemaid will come on time or not. So which are the real issues? Which are the real issues? When we say these things, client get very happy. Client come and tell us, though my wife doesn't know anything. I said, how your wife learned cooking? When your wife's mother was cooking in the kitchen, your wife went around. So what was happening as a kid? She learned the trick. She will also learn the trick. She can manage it. If she can manage you, she can manage anything in the world. Involve spouses in decision making, and wherever possible, involve kids in the decision making so they learn power of compounding. They don't get influenced by real. And I use this very often with my client. I say, whenever you talk to young guy, we speak in a language that they understand. We ask them, you go to a new company, how is your boss? He said, my boss sucks. How is your job? My job sucks. So what you should do? Get rid of them. How do you get rid of them? I have so much expenses. How do you control that? How do you fund that? So when you buy a mobile phone of 2 lakh rupees, you take 5 minutes to spend the money. But to earn 2 lakh rupees, how much time you need to spend? So every rupee spent, you need to think how much time it will take to earn that money. So involve young kids in the whole generation. Last, we are not, MFDs are not bankers and brokers where you get river of clients coming to us. We very rarely get references, very difficult to get new clients. So I have designed a very interesting strategy where we convert prospect into client. And what we do, we record our advice. How do we record our advice? I'll explain you. So I created some strategies. Gain transfer strategy. I go and meet a client and client tell me, market is very risky, we are not liking this, I don't know what will happen to India, I don't have AI history, this and that, all kind of things. They are only the flavor changes, but the story remain by and large the same. So we tell client, okay sir, no problem. You do a simple thing. You have a 10 lakh rupees in SBI FD. You put that 10 lakh rupees in SBI ultra short term fund and transfer gain to SBI focus fund. And even if you don't do it, no issue. I am sending you from today onward 10 lakh rupees in SBI FD. This is a portfolio A. 10 lakh rupees, suppose you follow my advice, and automatically I have created a software around it. Automatically the client get what would have happened suppose the money remained in SBI FD, what would have happened suppose the money was in plan B. For every prospect we meet, we create a plan and we send across to them. Then my system send them update every month what would have happened. In a bad time, we would underperform. In good time, we show them the numbers. Ultimately, we know our product is far superior. Similar kind of thing I've done for retirement income. Again, somebody come with 1 crore rupees. Here is a bank deposit, 6%, 7%, whatever number you take. Here is, I have created a plan for you, ultra short term, equity saving, balance advantage fund, multi-advantage fund, multi-asset fund and equity fund. And both the portfolio are shown to the client every month. A model portfolio, a portfolio in the cloud is being created, and it goes. ESOP management. I come from HDFC Group. My colleague in HDFC had a one-way money making machine. Stocks used to go 25% per annum. Last 5 years, no return. Many of my new client has come from my group. And here what we show to them, here is your ESOP in HDFC Bank, in HDFC Limited, now both got merged, in insurance, in asset management company, wherever you are. Here is the total portfolio. And I am giving you every month what you should do, how much stock you should sell, and where you need to put the money. So plan A, nothing changes. He maintains his ESOP the way he's maintaining. Plan B, what I'm recommending to him, and he sees the gap of both the plan. He also sees how much has been his portfolio been de-risked. Now HDFC and HDFC are very solid company, not too much volatility in that, but think about new consumer tech, fintech company in the world. Think about IT companies. So we use these kind of strategy. Was there a signal for me to stop? So this is ESOP strategy which I have created. Then, sorry, let it come. Portfolio review. So anybody coming to us, what we do, we take the client's portfolio, we show them this is your current portfolio, and we show them what we are recommending to you right now. And then every month by default, both the portfolio goes to client and our alpha is very, very clear, visible. In point 1, my alpha is against bank FD. Point 2, my alpha is against bank FD. Point C, my alpha is against individual stock. Point D is very interesting product where we do return targeting. Whenever somebody invests money, we put a return in 12%, 15%. If the portfolio generating more than 12 to 15% return, then excess money is taken out and parked in a debt scheme. And whenever the market underperforms, the debt scheme's money get transferred to equity scheme. It happens throughout the journey of the portfolio. Client feels so happy about it. Whenever you make presentation to the corporate, we have a housing loan SIP product, where what we tell clients, suppose you have 1 lakh EMI going on, do 30,000 rupees SIP. The moment SIP XR is more than 15%, you sell, except last 1 year, your 20 years housing loan on an average get over in 12-year period. So we make these kind of presentation when we go to the corporate world. So we are adding lot of solution out of mutual fund basket for our client. And we also give somebody just want a basket, and I've done it on social media. 2 years back, I looked at top performing fund, 20 fund, the best return generated fund, and 20 top rated fund by some agency. And I put my own 10 funds, and we have generated 8% alpha against the top rated fund and 9% alpha against the best generated fund. So we have created track record of our advice. It is very important that advisor need to put some effort in creating this. And if you can't do that, then here I give you 3 solutions. Either you become my associate. If you don't want to become my associate, you can align with me with my AUM growth. You say this 25%, 25 crore is AUM growth. You want to become 50 crore, 100 crore. We will help you. We'll share revenue in the growth of that. Or third option is that I'm starting annual subscription plan where every month we are going to do a webinar. We are going to share very, very interesting data, and every year we're going to do 3 days annual event. But I'm going to be very, very expensive. I'm not going to be very cheap, because why I'm charging? Because what I've seen, if you give free, it has no value. If you charge fee, people use it. So it is putting respect to your work. So I hope you liked it. And please understand, lots of people sometimes when I make an very thoughtful presentation, people say, we didn't understand, we didn't pay enough attention, it was not entertaining, it was not interesting. So please understand, mathematics is not interesting. You need to be attentive to take interest in mathematics. Mathematics is not bothered about whether you're interested or not. Fair enough? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vijay. This maths was really interesting.
And I done in time.
Yes, sir. That's definitely great. I call upon Mr. Sarvanan from Purple Pond to honor Mr. Vijay Mantri.